This is Boxing Tickets, and we are delighted to be joined once again on Zoom with Mr. Paul Loonam. Paul, how are you enjoying the good weather?
Stephen, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. Good to catch up with you. Um, Enjoying the weather. The weather's nice. It adds to the buzz on fight week, so it's nice to have the nice weather heading up to closer to the fight on Saturday. So yeah, no, it's really good to have the nice weather. It makes everything a little bit easier as well on fight week.
It's sometimes, I guess, maybe it's people that's maybe struggling to sort of make weight and things like that, maybe more of a struggle because I guess it can get you outside and get the steps and stuff like that in. But you've obviously had your check weight and stuff yesterday. You sort of know whereabouts you are. You can sort of go maybe take a few extra calories now, or you know, I guess 122 is never a problem for you in making weight. So like you're calm, composed, relaxed. You're 2 days out now from your official weigh, and but everything's sort of going for you. Probably dotting the I's and crossing the T's now, and everything you've planned and prepared for.
Yeah, all's going really well. After Christmas came back a little bit heavy, which is normal. Enjoyed the Christmas, and just got back on it with my nutritionist and back into training as well. So all's been going really well. Still loading up on the food, eating a lot of food every day. Yesterday morning I had to check weigh in. I had something small before that yesterday morning, before that as well, and the night before I was eating food as well. So all is good. My weight's really good. Feeling strong and fit. So able to eat today. I'll be able to eat tomorrow. Just cut back on the liquids probably from tomorrow evening on, and then make the way Friday. But yeah, no, all's going really well. Just stead discipline for the last probably 11, 12 weeks of camp, just to make sure that I'm not struggling with weight this time around. So had everything, all my T's dotted. Yeah.
Do you get to the stage now? Obviously, I know you're in Fight Five as a pro now, but you sort of get to know your body a lot more probably at this stage and know when you sort of need to cut back on certain things. Like, has it been the full 12 weeks you sort of had to be religious on a diet, or is there a certain time where right, I need to stop, eating the things that I shouldn't be eating?
Yeah, well, I found this camp. I wasn't trying to track everything down to a T and tracking my calories and tracking my nutrition. It was just try eat better food, which in turn made me feel good as well. So keeping the balance, the odd time I was going out for a little bit of food with herself, just to keep the small balance. And look, everything's been going great since I've been doing that. My nutritionist has always keep me, like, if I have any questions, I just fire them over to him. But I'd say it'd be about, yeah, from 8 weeks out, I need to kind of have everything down to a T. But the odd treat at the weekends, and it's nearly more for the mind than anything. It's like tough week banked. You can eat maybe a little bit of low calorie ice cream on the weekends or something like that, or go for food with yourself. And it's good to just kind of get away from the grind of every week, just getting out for some food with yourself, nice and relaxed, not really worrying what's in the food and stuff like that. Now, I'd still go for good, healthy food even when I'm going out for food, but it's still nice to get out and about. Yeah, but I'd say from 8 weeks, 8 weeks out from a fight, I just try to narrow everything down and have everything fucking on the point.
Particularly, obviously, with having a young child and stuff as well. Obviously, I know your whole pro career so far has obviously been you've obviously had a child, but like particularly when this warmer weather comes, obviously, I know your wee one's starting to get up and about it, but and they want ice cream, they want sweets and things like that. Like it's probably annoying for you, sort of the stage where you're giving your kids things and you're going, but I can't have any of them. Are you finding like with this sunshine coming now, where they want these wee treats and things like this, and you're going, I need to get away from this?
Yeah, well, look, I actually just made him food before, made him lunch before this Zoom, and I was thinking he's probably eating more of me for his lunch than I'm eating for my lunch. But I know my partner Carolina, she's really good. She tries to keep, like, he had an omelette there today with spinach, tomato, eggs, so she always keeps his food really well. The odd treats, she even makes them like kind of baby friend or toddler friendly treats as well. Like, so she wouldn't be too keen on giving him sugar. The odd time I might give him a biscuit or something, and she's kind of looking at me saying, "You need to stop them digestive biscuits." But I know it's all good. Maybe in the next year or so, I'd say when he starts getting an eye for ice cream in the nice weather, and the ice cream van now might be coming around as well. So yeah, no, not for now. We're all good for now. But he definitely keeps me on my toes during this weather because he wants to be out and about.
Your fight obviously on Saturday night, obviously your first title fight, BUA Celtic super bantamweight title fight against Myles Casey. It's sort of something that obviously back in October you'd sort of, I guess the planning was sort of in stage then sort of for the fight, and obviously afterwards then Myles was sort of saying, I want to have a fight at the three weight before a fight for a belt. So was it sort of surprising for you that when Jay sort of let you know that Myles was interested in the fight and the fight was on for Saturday?
Yeah, well, going back to his last fight in the stadium, which was October, as you said, we were hoping for him to get the win that night and then make that fight in November, but that didn't happen anyway. He said he'd fight anyone in Ireland, and then he said behind the scenes, behind the cameras, that he just wanted one more fight, and then he'd take me on. So, I kind of got wind that it'd be early next year that the fight would be happening. So, um. I kind of knew before Christmas that he'd take the fight early next year, and then I said to Jay, with this show coming up, Jay offered me to be on the February show that was actually cancelled, and I said, look, I think we'll put out, try get a Celtic title fight against Myles, send the offer across, and it was accepted within a few days or even a day. So it's great that he accepted it. He probably just wanted a little bit more time maybe for the weight, because he was fighting at super featherweight in his last one. So maybe just a bit more time, get the Christmas over and done with, and then kind of start bringing the weight down. So maybe that was his reasoning. So yeah, no, it's great that he accepted the fight. Big hats off to Myles. It's going to be a cracker of a fight on Saturday.
Like, I guess, when you sort of look at it, like, this is your fifth pro fight, but to be fair, probably, Paul, and you'll say yourself, this is the first sort of test that people will see that you're sort of having now, your first title fight. People can obviously say you're world class, this, that, and the other. When you're fighting people that probably just are expected to test you in different ways. So for you, this is probably your first real test to show people that what people's been talking about so far of where you can go in this pro game. This is your first step to show them, they show everybody how good you are.
Yeah, Stephen, I feel like this is going to be my breakout moment, on such a big show in the National Stadium, bringing myself back to where I won that elite title, and especially with the zone being on board now, I'm going to be worldwide and people can see my skills worldwide. So I think this is definitely going to be my breakout moment, and it's happening at the right time with a step up. It's probably quite hard to get those breakout moments when you're fighting, journeymen that are tough, durable. They're not giving too much back now. Some of my fights, they were good level journeymen that were testing me, but with this one, it's Myles is coming to win. I'm coming to win. It's Offaly v Limerick in a way as well. So it's no, it's really exciting, and I feel like I'm gonna shine now on this one. So I'm happy.
You've had these sort of things because I sort of know Miles' style where he'll sort of, he'll stand in the pocket and he'll sort of try and have a go and try and bring you into a war. Like, you've sort of had wee moments in your fight so far where you've sort of got the red mist and you've had to sort of throw back and sort of go toe to toe with someone to show them you're not here to bully me. So you sort of had these wee inklings so far. Like, what are you expecting of Miles on Saturday? Expecting he's just going to be like a bull and come forward and just try and have a war?
Yeah, I'm expecting Myles to be the best he's ever been in his pro career, kind of like he was when he won his Irish title. Um, he seems to be training really hard for this fight. He's definitely going to get up for this fight because it's a domestic fight. Um, it's a lot harder to get up for the fights with journeymen that you don't know, or they're just flown in the day before. Everyone's talking about this one. Some lads that I know down in Limerick are probably talking to him about me and stuff like that. So there's a good buzz around it. So I know he's putting everything into this camp, and so am I. So it's gonna be a great fight. I'm expecting the best Myles. Myles is very skillful. Like, he's been around a long, long time. He's been around longer than me, so he has the skills. He has the dog in him. He can fight. We seen that in his last fight. He had to dig deep and he took some big shots, but he came back with big shots too. So look, I'm preparing for Myles to do whatever. If he wants to stand and trade, that's what he's going to do. If he's going to try boxing move, that's what he's going to do. But I've been just preparing for every version of Myles because he has the skills, and then sometimes he kind of leaves the skills behind and he goes for a war. But yeah, I'm just preparing for both of them styles, and whatever Myles is on the night, I just believe I'm too good, too strong, too powerful. So yeah, no, I think I'll deal with all he has to offer on the night.
People will sort of sometimes maybe look at records, Paul, and obviously see Miles has won one and one as a pro, but they forget that what he's done as an amateur. Obviously he was a sparring partner for Katie Taylor and things like that. And you don't become a sparring partner for somebody if you don't have something that's of value. So, like, people will sort of look at this fight and they'll probably think, you know, I don't know what your opinion. Obviously, you're always going to have your opinion of what you think of the fight yourself, but like, people will nearly sort of disrespect Myles as having any chance, but you can't go into a fight in that nature and go, ah, he's got no chance. You always have to be wary of the threats of them being at the very best.
Yeah, look, I think I do that quite well. I always take the fighters, at their best. I believe Myles is training as hard as he ever trained, and he'll be the best him in the ring. Even when I fought my last four fights, I've always been switched on. You always seen me that I'm wary of what's coming back because you have to be thinking ahead, and I always try to think ahead with my opponents, and I never like this. Like I can't disrespect Myles because he's an amateur elite champion. He sparred the best around. As you said, Katie Taylor, he sparred Eric Donovan, he sparred former teammate Gary Cully, he sparred Jazza Dickens, he sparred all the best. So he's been around the game a lot longer than me. So have to give him that respect for experience wise. But in the ring, yeah, look, I respect all he has, but I just think I'm just going to be too good on the night.
Whenever obviously I know it's just past a year, obviously since I think it's past a year. Yeah, it would have been past a year. I think it was last February, was it? Obviously, it was announced you were going pro.
And
Um, like
fight in May.
when you think, obviously, within a year of turning pro, landing your first title as a pro, being worldwide and the zone, like this probably year, I don't know, from an outside sort of thing, it probably couldn't went any better for you, Paul.
Yeah, really good year. So I made my debut last May, and before that, before in February when me and Jay sat down and had a chat, he mapped the road map out for me, and he said, "Look, we're planning on getting you to the Red Cow, and then hopefully the year after, then the National Stadium." And he said, "We're just going to keep trying to get a broadcaster involved, and I'm going to get you on the zone, or I'm going to get you on Pro Box." And he always said that that's my plan, and I believed in Jay. And big thanks to Jay for the opportunity now for this one. It's great to be on the zone car with some class fights. Like it's one of the best boxing cards in the south of Ireland in a long, long time. Um, so yeah, no, it's brilliant, and I really appreciate Jay and what he's doing for me within the year of my career. And look, yeah, it's going really, really well. And look, I'm just going to add another win to my record, and just keep moving on.
Do you know off the top of your head how many times you fought in the stadium? Obviously, previously, probably too many to count.
Yeah, when I was 11, I boxed. I'd say you'd be looking at 50 fights in the stadium. Probably. I'd say when I was 11, I fought in a competition. There was five fights in one competition I had. So for the elites, the under 18s, the boy threes, fours, U1s and twos, I'd say you're coming close to 50 fights in there. But I'd say Myles is thereabouts the same. Like, he's boxed there all his life. He's been a Irish representative as well. So I'm sure he's well experienced in the stadium.
Yeah, it's like I guess I keep saying to everybody, you nearly know every nook and cranny. Obviously, you know where the singing comes from in the stadium at times. Like you know what the change rooms are like. We've done this before. Where you said you visualize things like that. Like it's easy for you to visualize everything. Where you're going to park, where the car is going to be parked,
Yeah.
where obviously you go to the toilet, where you'll do your training in advance. Like that's all mapped out for you from years of experience of being there.
Yeah, it's good to have a familiar venue. And you can't get more of an iconic venue in the south of Ireland as well. It's the home of Irish boxing, so it's great to be back there. And as you said, look, I'm very familiar with everything, so I'll be nice and comfortable on the night, know where everything is, visualize everything beforehand, and then just get the job done on the night. Yeah.
Was it easier this time selling tickets, obviously, for your first title fight? I guess you've always been well supported and everything else to that, but were you finding it was easier to sell your tickets because people knew you were fighting for your first title?
Yeah, definitely. There's more of a buzz around the fight, and a lot of people asking, what's your opponent like? Oh yeah, Myles, I've seen his last fight. So there's definitely more of a buzz around. People like to see domestic fights happen, they're real 50-50 fights. So and there's definitely more of a buzz. All my tickets are done now, all my tickets are sold. So I'm happy with the way that's went. Everyone, big support coming up on the bus as well. So no, everyone's been brilliant. I always have my kind of core fans that come up to every fight, regardless of who I'm boxing. So they're a huge help to me, and I appreciate them.
Who'll be the more proudest on Saturday evening, obviously, between yourself and your dad, obviously, who's part of your corner? Like, obviously, I know you're going to have bigger aspirations, obviously, and going a lot further than obviously having the Celtic title. But, like, for you, I guess it's the first notch, but probably you'll be looking straight away when the decision's made, whether it goes the distance or where you stop, Miles. the first probably person you'll look to is your dad in the corner to go to see his reaction.
Yeah, look, my dad has been the number one man in my career always, and in life as well. So I'm really, really grateful for him. I wouldn't be able to do this without my dad. Even with work friends that he has, he's able to get me sponsors. And to be honest, without my dad, I wouldn't be able to do this. So yeah, he's a huge part. And after the fight, we'll look at each other and say, yeah, we done it, and give each other a big hug. And he'll probably give me a slap in the back of the head and say, you should have boxed a little bit better. But just that's the way he is. But no, really, really grateful for my dad. Wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing without him. And yeah, look, after we'll reflect on it after, and it'll be great between the two of us. But then hopefully we'll push on for more.
Like, I don't want to look too far past, but obviously Jay's talked of obviously a potential homecoming for you, and awfully obviously the super bantamweight division's flying in Ireland. Obviously, there's probably more super bantamweights in Ireland than there is in any other division. Like, you're in the healthiest division. You're probably, and I know you'll probably say like my focus is on Myles and that's it, but like there's a lot of good fights to be made in Ireland for you.
Yeah, there's a lot of great fights. One of them's happening Saturday between me and Miles, so it's great that it's getting underway. And I'm sure Jay is talking to the likes of Jamie and stuff, trying to line up other things. But I just said to Jay, look, I don't want to hear about anything until all is said and done Saturday night. So just all focused towards Miles. But look, it's great that Jay is trying to plan a roadmap for me. He always keeps me informed on things, always keeps me, looking forward and looking ahead. But I just have to keep me focused now for Saturday night because we're getting so close, and I have to stay focused on the best Miles turning up and the best me as well.
I'm sure the one that's probably keeping you grounded the most in this camp's now. Obviously, Unit Three there, like Unit Three is nearly becoming like a holiday resort sort of in a way. Like we have like Balgorm and stuff up here. Like you've got saunas, you've got everything sort of in there now. It's nearly becoming like a Butland sort of venue. It's like you've got everything you need.
Yeah,
If he's
yeah.
got like a cafe, well, he's obviously have Gary's place next door for coffees, but like it's nearly becoming a resort there in Unit Three.
Yeah, no, it's I wouldn't call it a holiday resort now. We put ourselves through hard training, but now we're blessed. We have the obviously the gym unit three. It's a huge facility, loads of boxing equipment, your strength, your S&C equipment there as well. So all of my training is done in there with Niall and with the team as well. The likes of Adam Arias has Keen, Reddy, and Bayo Alabi on the card as well. So they'll be there training. Then outside you have the Gary's coffee shop, Diva Coffee. Then at the back of the coffee shop you have your unit recovery room. So all the lads help me out. It's great to go in and get the session done, grab a coffee, maybe hit the ice bath and the sauna after as well. So yeah, no, I'm absolutely blessed. The facilities are top class. It's like the high performance of Kildare, or you know what I'm saying. So it's really good. Um, and yeah, Niall is really good to keep me grounded. Niall is very hard-working, very disciplined guy, but he's also very humble. And we've done our diligence on everything this camp. So um, we're not taking this fight lightly. We're taking this fight is going to be my toughest fight today, but it's also going to be the best me in the ring on Saturday night.
Is it perfect in a way for you, sort of like you have the zone back, and obviously the zone's broadcasting it all around the world. Like normally, you nearly had to go on a matchroom card. They've obviously teed up now with Queensbury and Golden Boy and things like that. Like there's a potential of you be seen worldwide. So like maybe any friends or family that obviously can't be there, they'll still be able to tune in and watch. But this is for you, probably putting yourself in a shop window for people to go in the future. There's potential of Crocker Donovan in August as a rematch. Like there's a potential that bigger promoters could sort of look and go, we want to give this guy a chance on one of our cards.
Yeah, look, it's great that it's on the zone. Friends and family over in Australia, New Zealand, even in the UK as well. So it's great that they can tune into it. And as you said, it'll be seen to a wider audience of boxing people as well. So it's definitely my time to shine. I think people are going to be looking at me after thinking, wow, that kid, that Loonam kid's really good. And eyes will be on me after the show. But look, I just have to get in and do my job, and then hopefully that'll come after.
Prediction for Saturday night, like obviously you're saying it's going to be a masterclass, and obviously you're going to be just the goods. Like, do you see it being? Do you see it going the distance? Do you want to put that statement performance in and stop him? Like, how do you see the fight going in your head?
Stephen, I'll win by any means necessary. If I have to box and move to win, if I need to up the pace to win, I'll take the win by any means necessary. A little bit of Dubois in there, he likes to say that. So any means necessary, Stephen, I'll win. And look, you'll see Saturday night, so make sure you tune in.
Definitely. Is there anybody obviously you want to thank, obviously sponsors and things like that? Because without, as I always keep saying, and I know it's nearly a sort of a regular that keeps playing, but they are a vital part. Like this boxing game's not easy, and without sponsors, without people buying tickets, none of it would be possible for you.
Just a big shout out to my sponsors for this fight. Alternative Energy Ireland and Tullamore, Darren Buckley and the lads, really good. Thank you very much for sponsoring me. Midlands Real Estate, my brother's real estate company. Unit 3 Health and Fitness, Unit Recovery, Brian McMahon and Rita as well. They've been a huge help to me all camp, helping cut costs of training and travel and expenses. And Dermot Flannery, Heating and Plumbing as well, was a big help to me.
Fantastic. Well, look, Paul, obviously it's great to obviously get your time. Obviously, sorry I couldn't be there for the press conference tomorrow, or as people be watching this, it'll be today. But look,
That's
obviously
just happened.
enjoy your press conference tomorrow. Obviously, enjoy the weigh-in on Friday night. And we'll see you in the stadium on Saturday evening, live on DAZN.
Live on the zone. Steve, thanks very much. You're a legend, and I'll see you Saturday live on the
No
zone.
problem, Paul. Cheers. Take care.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.